That's a Prado?
That is a Prado, mate.
All right, guys. I've had this car for over 7 years, and it's been on the channel for over 4 years. It's made the channel, and unfortunately, this is probably the last official YouTube video you'll see of this car ever, as there's a lot of buyers coming up soon to have a look at this thing, and I really don't think it's going to be around for much longer. So unfortunately, guys, this will be the last video of the old Prado 90 series, but I thought we better send it off the right way and do one sort of final rig rundown, final setup, because a lot of you guys have been asking for that, and basically just remember the good times I had with it and what an incredible car it's been for me. So let's waste no more time and get right into it. Right, g'day guys, Matt Preston, Built Cruisers. Now, if you're not familiar with the channel, this is your first time seeing the channel. Basically, I've had this car for ages. It's been my first ever full drive, got me into full driving, and as you can probably see, it's got a fair few mods on it, and I love it. It's been great. A bit more of a different car to mod up to this extent, basically, and I think that's why some people loved it. So, not too many people, you know, paint them and do these extra mods, and I wanted to do it. So, here we are about 7 years later. Being my first full drive, I think a lot of people do appreciate that it is a very realistic car to buy, and obviously it's also a petrol model, petrol gas, which a lot of people get shocked by. It's not the diesel, because I couldn't afford it at the time. But yeah, this is basically the petrol gas, and anyone can buy this car. So I bought this, yeah, roughly 2018, and yeah, it's been a great car, like I said before. Don't get me wrong though, it's had engine failures, it's done a lot of things, a lot of it's my fault, but I definitely learned a lot on this car for sure. And obviously going into the current build, the 60 series, I've learned a lot of things that I've learned on this. So now that I've got the more sort of expensive car, I guess, for the 60, it's nice to know what I'm doing a bit more. But yeah, let's waste no more time and let's go through some of the mods. Alrighty guys, so starting at the front, if you aren't familiar, we've had a few wool bars on this car over the years, but this has been sort of the last one on it, obviously. Now, this is actually from AliExpress, which a lot of people get surprised about, or Alibaba, sorry. And yeah, it is, well, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, like it's obviously not built to last, and the paint's gone to a really sort of matte black, because it's probably just can't stand the sun in Australia. But besides that, it's been pretty good. I have hit one kangaroo with it and it's had no dramas, so it's not like it's like rubbish. It has defended a kangaroo, but I obviously got it because I think it looked really cool and very different. So yeah, if you're wondering where this bar is, go on the video about it on YouTube, and there's a link, and it should give you a very similar, if not the same bar, and you can sort of get one yourself. But basically I did a Jeep Halo fog light upgrade in here, so there's got the little LED rings and LEDs, because normally that's an old halogen light, so I basically threw those out when it came with them. And obviously LED indicators down here, and then you can't miss it, 3 of these 7-inch light fox bodies. So these are the Vicoffroad sort of brand, if you know them, they're on Instagram. And yeah, I wanted a bit of a different look. Obviously 3 is a bit more aggressive, you don't see too much of it, compared to just your traditional 2. So I've got that on there at the moment. The headlights, get asked about these a lot, and it's because these are one of the things that make it quite unique. These are Japan spec, so you can't really get this design in Australia. I think the short wheelbase Prado 90s had come with this, but I'm assuming you're going to import them as well. So basically that's got the surround there, and then that's a 7-inch Halo RGB light, which we guys have seen as well. Video on the channel, all the links in that video as well if you want to buy this yourself. But basically this will makes it look quite unique, and I've been able to get cool photos with the red and all that sort of stuff. So very cool, very different. And then obviously the side indicators have just been sort of night shaded a bit to match that. So pretty straightforward. And then coming under here, obviously different number plates because we're selling, but winch there, that's just a bunker. I think it's a 13,000 pound winch. And yeah, that's been great. Used it a few times. Probably not as much as I thought. And I think a lot of people say that as well when they get winches. So it's been fine for me, and it just hooks on the bar there nicely. So yeah, that's basically the front. There's no, that's the factory sort of underbash plate there. Some people think I've got different stuff, but I don't. And with my old bull bar setup, I used to have 2 red recovery points, but I haven't got them on this setup here. All right, coming around to the driver's side here now. This is a cane-toed snorkel. basically one of the first mods I ever did. It was only 75 bucks 7 years ago. And the only thing I've changed on that is the head, because the other one got smashed up by a tree. So this is still here. It's actually held up really well for 7 years. Like, there's not really a scratch on it or anything. So if you want a cheap, nice plastic snorkel, look no further, cane toad. But basically that's been on here, no worries, that's all plumbed in properly. And then obviously little sort of LED indicators down here, that's just a little bit different, a little bit nicer obviously with the clear look. And then these I get messaged about basically once a week. It's ridiculous. These are 80 series towing mirrors, but only about 2 out of the 3 bolts line up. And basically you can get a drill it out, and you can make them fit pretty well. They're definitely like probably a little bit more wobbly than it would be like on an 80 series, for example. But obviously these extend and close. You guys have seen these before. They are quite stiff because, as we know, most people don't extend them because they're already so big. But obviously really practical, you love the look, great vision at the back, and the blind spot mirror. So definitely a must have. All right guys, now throughout this car, we've had quite a few lighting arrangements on the roof as well. But this is the Novasight 50-inch light bar, so it's quite big. I had a 40-inch one from them, and it fit like really good, but a longer one sort of looks better and is more light. So we've got the 50-inch up there, that's sort of custom modified to fit up there. And a little while ago we had just the King's little slimline bar, so that also works really well. Just on top of that sort of is the Rhino rack, platform rack. So that was really cool back in the day when we partnered up with them, and we got that on there. So that was cool because they didn't actually make it for the 90 series, and we were sort of one of the first ones to development sort of make it with them. But to be honest, it's probably bits and pieces from other roof racks because it's pretty straightforward, but very, very cool. And obviously you can't miss it, it's massive. The big 1.4x Outback Tour rooftop tent. So that's been a game changer, to be honest. I really love that. And because it's got the X, you get that extra foot room, really great if you're tall like me. And obviously right next to me is the big 270 awning. So this is the Plus, and it's got the D-shaped hole to get up through the roof of the rooftop tent. And it's got the lights in it, which has been really, really handy. I actually use them over the other ones, which I'll show over here in a second. But that's sort of the roof setup at the moment. Way back in the day, we had like a King's roof rack with a King's little awning, and we had a high lift jack up there. We had lots of different layouts. But obviously throughout the years, things change and mods sort of change and trends change. And yeah, this is probably a bit more realistic, this sort of setup here. All right, I should probably mention as well, Roam Gear, they sort of partner with Outback Tourer, and that's got a big 230 watt solar panel up there, which has been really awesome, constantly topping up the battery when the car's not driving. And it's the reason the fridge has never been off and the battery's never flat. So really awesome. I can definitely tell on the 60, without having the solar panel, the battery gets flat. So definitely worth it. And then obviously up here, just two of the sort of desert max tracks, which are, you know, kind of cool, matches the paint. So very happy with that. Another thing as well is obviously the paint, because this used to be red, and then I did sort of the black trims and black vent, and then obviously did the paint. 800 bucks, got the whole body sandy taupe. Pretty cool. Everyone's confused how it's so cheap. Basically they didn't prep it or sand it very well, but it's actually held up pretty well considering. So sort of worth it for me at that stage of life. But obviously the 60 series, we did it properly, got it painted properly, sanded properly, and the paint looks a lot better. So there's also that as well. And then this does technically have quite a bit of like sort of orange peel, and it's not very clear, whereas that other one is very clear now. So that's really awesome, really like that. And used to have like the classic weather shields, but they all just fell off. So they always fall off when they get really old. So that's sort of the back here. Let's go around to the boot. All right guys, now at the boot. So obviously you've seen this car probably lots of times now, but no one actually kind of knows this, but this is actually a magnet. So that just comes right off. It's been on there for maybe 4 years, and the reason we got that magnet is because the Toyota badge was here, but at Gore Beach it fell off, so I had two little holes there. So I put the magnet on there and it covers that up nicely, and no one's taken it off. It's just a magnet sitting on there. All right guys, now obviously the rear bar, so that's also Ali Barb. Shout out to Bailey Maverick Campers. He actually sort of back in the day was at Maverick Campers. He helped me and another guy with the 90 series sort of import these with the, through the shipping containers with the caravans come through. So he made shipping free because they just simply put it on a shipping container with the caravan. So it was 2 rear bars, 2 bull bars, and yeah, that's sort of how I got mine here. But if you guys do remember, because we got the 2-inch body lift in here, this got sort of heavily modified by a guy down at Tail and Bend, and he's done it. It's way stronger than what it would have ever been before. So all the times I put the bike carrier in here and towing or whatever, it's been strong, which is obviously what you want. And if you guys don't know, if you do a 2-inch body lift, the chassis stays where it is, but the body goes up 2 inches, which means all your components like your bull bar, rear bar, even radiator that are connected to the chassis will just have this really massive awkward gap. So you do sort of want to fix that and sort that out, which we've done here. Alrighty guys, so I'm at the 60, obviously. It's only got the one jerry holder, which I actually do think is a massive disadvantage, to be honest, and I feel like it's so much easier to just put 2 on and have 2, so that is kind of a bit of a shame. But not the end of the world, but we did normally have the water jerry in there. And obviously, not to mention, on the back of the rear wheel, we had the big bin bag and the race products tray. Alrighty, so the boot. Now I've got to say, I was actually really do like this rear setup. This feels so low, I'll just say straight away, after being in the 60, the 35s and the bigger lift, but this was quite low right now. But if you guys aren't aware, because I feel like I've done this video a lot, but these are twin, just 900mm King's drawers, so very standard, and you know, they're very nice and they work. I'll be honest, they absolutely work, and this, at the end of the day, was meant to be a budget build, so wasn't going to go any like fancy drawers. Little hook-on table, that was awesome. So this was my setup. Cooking, food, worked really well. Obviously the 60 series for that was spoiled because we've got a table this size and another one, and then the drawer. So this feels really small now coming back to it. But it worked, it did honestly work. And right to my right, you probably would know it, but 85 litre upright King's fridge. Basically it's never been off since I bought it like 3-4 years ago, and it's never skipped a beat. So I've got to be honest, has actually ran really well for me. And then obviously Blacksmith, we've partnered with them and we got their little fridge cover here. So that's, you know, this was full of like soaps, hand sanitizers and salt and pepper and whatever. So that was also very handy. And then yeah, big void here for chairs and big camping items. Rooftop tent ladder at the back. And it just works. It works really well. So this has been sort of the last few years of this car loadout. If you remember back in the day, we had like an Engel fridge and 2 drawers here, just drawers central, whereas this is a bit more realistic. So and back here is my big sort of 12 volt setup, so I'll show you that. My 12 volt setup in here, there's a 120 amp King's battery in a battery box. Lithium, obviously. We used to have AGM back in the day, and this is before lithium was sort of like affordable, but now we've got the lithium in there. We've also got the 1500 watt inverter. That was just for charging like laptops, cameras, even using a toaster on Fraser Island, so it was pretty cool to have that. And then we've also got the Terraloom little touchpad lights that are above me, and that's what we used for so long, but now with the awning, I used to open the awning, use those lights because they're quite a nice yellow mood light, with that's quite aggressive, and but they are dimmable, but yeah, the other ones are quite nice. So that's still in there. There's also an iTechworld 25 amp DC-DC charger, which has solar priority as well, with the sort of an MPPT charger and built sort of thing. So that's got solar priority on it now, and that's been awesome because I bought that from iTechworld quite a few years ago, and now they're a big sponsor on the channel, which is really cool. So that's in here and it hasn't ever stopped working. So it's been great. If you want one, get one. Okay guys, wheels and tires. So obviously pretty important part of any car, definitely makes the car look cool or not. So these, if you aren't aware, Milestar Patagonia's XT. So they're basically like an aggressive hybrid all-terrain, and they've been really good. They're very quiet on the road. I've probably done, I'm gonna guess, about 20-30,000 Ks on them, and yeah, they've been really good. Taken them off road a fair few times and they've been really good. Obviously it's not going to be the same durability as a mud tire like we've got in the 60 now, but definitely a lot more quiet on the highway. So, you know, obviously it depends what you want to prioritize. And then the rims, these are everywhere. You guys have seen these, ROH Assaults, -22, and they're obviously the machined look, and obviously they're not real bead locks, which is good, keeps it legal. And obviously I think they look quite nice. And while people are surprised, I fit neg 22s on the factory flares, and I did as well when I had 35s in this car for like 3 years, but they work really well, and I think it just gives that aggressive look. So obviously the standard rims in these are 16-inch rims, so we've gone up a rim size, but I think it's definitely worth it. Oh yeah, and the tire size of these, if you're wondering, 285 70 rim 17, so basically a 33 just coming down from the 35, which we had, like we said before, and they've been obviously really good because this has been turned into a bit more of a comfy tourer, I guess you could say. But yeah, I do love these tyres, and yeah, they will be sold with the car, so if you want them, get the car. Alright guys, now also Oricom did help us out on this build as well back in the day. So if you guys don't know what this is the sort of adjustable bracket here, and you can go all the angles. And this is like a dual antenna, so you can screw the top off and put a big one on, like a 6.6 dBi I think, and this is like the 3 dBi. Good for hills, that's sort of where I live, so I've gone with that one, and it's also a lot less weight. But that is obviously also paired with the Oricom UHF inside. Alright guys, inside, just got the King's seat covers, been really handy, and honestly, the seats underneath are in really good condition, so definitely well worth the money, even though I bought these probably 7 years ago, and I've still got them on, so definitely sort of says something about them. Just standard floor mats, car pureed Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, that's about a 10-inch screen, and then here's the Oricom unit. It's one of their flagship models, and that unit is just under there, you can see that there. And before we used to have a secondhand GME unit, and that works really well. We've got the center console upgrades. This is from a Grande Prado, and basically gives you cup holders on the back, and it gives you an extra armrest. So I put this here, and it sits at the same height as the gear lever. When you drive, it's very comfortable, and obviously you get a whole extra storage compartment. So very handy, very happy with that. And besides that guys, we didn't actually get into the interior too much, to be honest. We've already done more in the 60 series than this Prado. There is also just a tiny little phone holder there. So basically very simple in here. Been very comfy, obviously with the Prado. You've got nice doors, windows, electric, and obviously you've got comfy seats. So already sort of had a lot of comforts with the 60. We've got armrests on it now, new seats are coming, already done the head unit, and there's so much more to go. So very cool, but yeah, didn't actually do too many mods in here over the 7 years I owned it. Okay guys, now lift. We've done lots of different videos over the years on the lift, and that's basically because it was constantly changing. But I'll give you sort of the final setup of it, because this is sort of how I've left it for the last few years. So basically, to start it off, the car does have a 2-inch body lift, and that was mainly to fit the big 35s because they will just scrub the whole time, and obviously to get it off the ground a bit. So it does have a 2-inch body lift. Now the front sort of has a 2-inch lift. It's probably sagged a bit, to be honest, but it's got Prado 150 series diesel front springs in the front, and at the time that gave it about a 3-inch lift, but it's probably more like a 2 now. So we've kind of got the 2-inch body lift plus that sort of 2-inch lift here at the front. And then on the back, we've got 80 series front coils, just stock, and then the rear, and they actually give it about a 3-inch lift in the rear, and that's definitely still shows today, so that's been really good. And then we've got 105 series shocks, just they're a bit longer, quite a lot bigger, and give us more travel. So the rear of this also having the diff as well, I think it flexes really well. Well, I almost think it can easily outflex a stock 80 easily, and I've got photos on Instagram to prove that. But obviously the front being CVs, IFS, you're never going to be able to get that same amount of flex, as we know. So the front is why obviously people get a landcruiser in 80 series 105 for the solid axle, which we don't have in this. But regardless, that's probably the lift roughly, guys. So about 4 or 5 inches in the rear, including the body lift, and about 4 inches in the front. But it's been a few years, so I'll probably say 3 inch all around, give or take. So you can see I'm 6'4", and it's, you know, quite high against me still, and that's on 33s, so that's something at least. But yeah, it is definitely more of a tourer setup now, for sure. And also having the rooftop tent on the roof being quite a heavy rooftop tent as well. So absolutely love it to bits, but that's sort of been the final lift. And yeah, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to check the videos on the channel, because I think I've gone a lot more in detail of literally installing it and showing it on camera, so that would have better idea of what this was all like back then. So, but this is how it is now. Okay guys, well I think that's almost it. Like, we've gone over basically every single mod that I can sort of remember off the top of my head. The engine has about 380 Ks, and I bought it at about 220, give or take. So it's been, you know, 7 years, it's about 120,000 Ks. And obviously we've had an engine swap that was in the first year of ownership. and we've also done ball joints and all sorts of things over the years, you guys have probably seen as well. So obviously very sad to see it go, but we knew this day would come, and I guess it's a big deal in the sense that this is the whole reason I even started the channel, started the Instagram, just because I really loved it, had a passion for it. But I definitely want to obviously sell this and either get a 200 series like we've said before, or even like an old Hilux, some sort of old ute, because I've never owned a ute and I've always wanted to, whether it's a single cab tub Hilux or like a dual cab tray, not really sure yet. And also I do feel like at some point I'd love a dual cab 79. Very cliche of me, but they are very cool and I think they're awesome. So we'll see what happens, obviously, guys. Not really planning on doing a big bank loan yet for an expensive car like that. And that's why I love the 60, because I've been able to just buy that outright, and now we can build it into something really special. But guys, that's basically it. This will be the last time the Built Cruiser sticker's on the dash. Remember, this was originally Built Prado, and it was very well known. It was on the Full Drive 24/7 channel, I think 3 times when it was its Built Prado form. So that was pretty cool. Cahill did a little rig rundown on it in one of their videos. So it's definitely been seen by hundreds of thousands of people, and it's, you know, that makes me happy. I feel like a lot of people realize the Prado 90 was good value for money, coils all around, and that it was a good car and people can buy it because it's affordable. So I thought we got the message out there, guys. Mission successful. So yeah, now it's off onto the next builds, and basically trying to keep building unique cars that are a bit different to everyone else, because that's what it's all about. And also camping, exploring, but I love the building part. I'm gonna miss this car. Okay guys, well I think this is the end from me. If you want to buy the car, you better let me know pretty quick, because by the time this video comes out, it's probably almost already going to be gone. So definitely get out there now. Let me know now if you are keen. But that's pretty much it. So if you have any final questions forever on the Prado, let me know down below. And if you're very curious about previous mods, please go check it out. There's over 4 years worth of content on this car, and we've done almost every mod to it. So there's probably a mod there you haven't done and that I've done, and you might be able to watch and get some advice or whatever. So guys, thank you very much, and thank you to my Prado audience who've been following me for a while. I know we've gone to a Land Cruiser, but I'm sure you guys will stick around. Still being Toyota. She's not a Patrol yet, so that's good. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's me signing out from now. Thank you so much for subscribing, guys, and I'll catch you guys next time on Built Cruisers.